Hello again, and happy Sunday, everyone. Today, I want to talk about something that's a bit of a offshoot, I guess, or further expansion on something I was discussing last week when I talked about different reasons people might either leave Christianity or just not want to join it at all because of other Christians, particularly the issue of what God apparently allows other people to do to you, in that case, specifically Christians. But I want to broaden that into just, you could call this a part of like the problem of evil or problem of suffering, at least as it pertains to, the Christian God, or really any belief in God that is, what they call the triomnies, all powerful, all knowing, all loving. And then how, given that God being who he is, how anything can be allowed that's what you might call like gratuitous suffering. We're not talking about problems like, oh, I just happen to struggle to overcome something. That stuff like that can actually build character. We're talking about the huge, like, this is like unnecessary suffering, pain, trauma, whatever. Like, not doesn't seem to be any reason for it at all. And there's obviously excuses for that as well, like, oh, maybe there is a reason for it, but you just can't see it, which, that's a whole other issue. I'm not going to get that today. The response to why bad things happen that I really want to get to is well, you see, Jesus may not take away your pain or your suffering, but he understands it and he's there with you in the midst of it. And also, I realize this can be a kind of a sensitive, touchy subject for a lot of people, because I know for a lot of folks who either have or are like really going through some shit right now, that thought of God being with me and understanding what I'm going through can be extremely comforting. And I get that. Like, I'm not, like, so don't see this as me trying to take that away. This is just me saying, why, for me, that's not good enough. And here's why. Basically, this boils down to, like, this is God we're talking about. Jesus or whoever you put in there, and they're the same, right? So I'm probably going to be using them both interchangeably. Hope that's okay. It is. So yeah, I want to. So first of all, like, I think the reason why I think this is used as a response, like I said, it's not necessarily supposed to be like a rebuttal or refutation of the problem of evil, but I guess to me it just seems more like, okay, we're just accepting that for whatever reason, evil exists, suffering exists, pain, hardship, all this shit we all go through, this exists. So how can we try to like wrap our heads around it, make sense of it in some way, but also just kind of cope with it? And I'm not using that in any like sarcastic cope way. I mean, like, legit, like how to cope with things, how to get through it, survive through it, whatever the case may be. So for someone who is going through something and they just see no reason why, and they don't see any hope, at least not for now, or any way out of it, and they just need something to hold on to. So in that sense, like, I get it. If this is what you got, that, okay, even if no one else, like no other person is with me in understanding this, at least there's a God out there or a Jesus who understands. And this is also linked back to, this is why Jesus came to earth and suffered and died the way he did. So he can, like, the way they put it is like he entered into our suffering and suffered alongside us, and so now he gets it. It's like, okay. Questions about that, but we'll see if we get to those, if I remember. So yeah, so this is used as, I would say, consciously or not, one of my first issues with this approach is it almost seems like it's just giving God an excuse or giving him an out. It's like we're experiencing this horrible tragedy, whatever it is that's going on. And we've thought about like all the different theodicies or ways to try to get around the problem of evil, and like why a loving God would allow this to happen. And it's like, well, nothing seems to be working on that front, but it's like, but we still need to find a way to make God the good guy. So, found out something that can actually be good about him in this situation. So, and I get that because, yes, as I'm sure we all know, whether we have experienced this or wish we could have experienced it while we were going through something, having someone there who, even if they're not or can't, that's the important word, can't do anything about what we're going through, but just that they are there with us to support us and love us and say, hey, I'm here, I got you, we're going to go through this together. Like, yes, that is extremely powerful to get from other people. I've experienced that myself, like when I had cancer, like 4 years ago now. Yeah, like, and I was always saying that the thing that was getting me through that, other than the medicine, obviously, I'll get to that too, was the other people in my life, my friends and family who were so incredibly supportive. Like, yes, so I understand why that can be helpful. But, like so many things, the more I think about it, the more problematic this seems. So like I said, saying someone is there with you in your suffering, but even if they don't do anything about it, like, yeah, that makes sense for other people who can't. But this is God we're talking about. A God who I think any Christian or any believer in such a God would say he absolutely can remove this pain, this suffering from us. And he loves us. So even if it is something to the level where he recognizes that he needs to come and be with us in the midst of it, so it's like he recognizes this is bad. But if he's powerful enough to actually do something about it, why doesn't he? Why is it enough for him to just be there? It's like I said last week when Christians try to say, well, if you walked away from the church because of things that other Christians did to you, there's some to say, well, that means your faith was in people, not God. But then other Christians come in, they try to fix it and say, oh, like, if other people did this to you, then God sees you and your pain is valid. Then I go to, okay, God sees you and your pain, and he could have done something about it, but he didn't. So if you're telling me he's here with me in my pain, then my question is, okay, why isn't he doing something about it? Again, let's take this to real world examples. So again, like I mentioned, I had cancer 4 years ago. And like I said, I was receiving all kinds of love and support from friends and family who, couldn't actually do anything about my cancer, but they were there with me as I went through it, which I will be forever grateful for. But but there was a reason I also went to an oncologist or cancer doctor. But if I had gone to my oncologist and in our first meeting, she would have said to me, look, I know you have cancer, but I just want you to know, I may not do anything to actually treat your cancer or help you actually be cured of it or make it go away or whatever, but I just want you to know I will be here with you as you suffer through it. I would have got a new oncologist because there's a reason I went to her because, okay, again, I can get all this love and support from anyone, but I'm going to you specifically because of what you can do for me. So that should be the same when you go to this all-powerful, all-loving God. Like, he's supposed to be able to do more than just sit with you in it and understand. Then going back to, like, why Jesus came and why a lot of Christians view, like, what Christ went through with all the suffering, the crucifixion, like why they view that as beautiful, which, again, this may be another topic. It seems like trying to find something beautiful in what is really just a completely horrific situation. Again, I don't quite get, maybe that's just me. But the insinuation there is like that's part of why Jesus came, is so God could actually experience the suffering and understand. But what this implies is before Jesus came, God didn't understand and he needed to do that. So I guess maybe that's why God seemed like such a dick in a lot of the Old Testament. Is that I don't know if that's the argument, but it seems to track. Um, but yeah, so like I said, to me, that just seems like saying God like understands and is just there with you in the midst of it. To me, that just seems like a way to, again, let him get off the hook for not doing anything about it. It's like, well, let's find something in the situation that is good that he's doing. Which, okay, if that is what he's doing, then yeah, that's good, but it's not good enough. So to me, that doesn't help. I mean, again, it makes sense. Just the concept of there being someone or something out there that does love you and understand you. And again, like I said, this is why I know can be a touchy subject for a lot, because I know for a lot of people that's all you have. And like I said, if that's all you have, this isn't me trying to take it away from you. This is just me explaining why that doesn't do it for me. But as always, love to hear what any of you have to say about what you think about that. Seems like I just can't end a video without mixing my words up. Maybe I should just do it from now on that way, whether I mean to or not. Anyway, but yeah, please let me know what you think. And again, if there's anything else in this little chat, whatever, that you'd like to hear me expound on more, or if there's anything else completely unrelated you'd like to hear my thoughts on, I'd love to hear from you. So, all right, nothing else. See you next week.